Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Hambone here, and in today's video we're going to cover a beginner's guide to the Slayer's Path progression tree, your complete guide, all of the things that you need to know when you get into your Slayer's Path. So without any further ado, we're going to jump straight on into this one, and I just want to talk about Path as a whole, and I'll go ahead and zoom out here so you can see really well. But the Slayer's Path as a whole is a huge mess, and when you first get into the game and you're all the way down here at the bottom and you're going, what on earth do I do with this mess? How do I cope with this? How do I deal with this? You know, what do I do? Alright, I'm going to walk you through it a little bit at a time here. So this very first one is the first kind of node you unlock, first kind of little area you go to, and the first little thing that you do is you unlock this. This is like your very first, as soon as you get into the game, this is the first thing you do. And then you're going to work on it a while, and you're going to work your way up to this one. And the second one here, what it does is it takes, and there's your weapons to your left. It unlocks more islands, different things. Your third one unlocks some player upgrades. So I had somebody ask me in a previous video about healing and stamina and all that sort of thing, how you increase your health. This is the spot in this trek tree, the Slayer's tree, Slayer's Path, where you increase your health. So to that person, I answered your question in the comments, but this is an answer to your question in a video. Right here is how you increase your health, okay? This one right here does stamina increases, all right? And then you go, wait a minute. All right, this one increases your healing from all sources, etc., so on and so on. These are character buffs. Down here, I mentioned again in the two, those are weapon buffs, very key things. To the left side of that, of the three, you'll notice that those are your glider upgrades. So that's where you get your various gliders. That's where you unlock the first glider and where you get the rest of the gliders. And then, of course, you have a couple more islands to unlock. You know, we can go look at those here. You can unlock, you know, a couple more places to go out hunting grounds, a couple more hunting grounds, a couple more places to go in this tree as well. If you go up to 4, then you're looking at Forage and Formula. This is where you do your alchemy stuff. You upgrade your potion making skills. The amount of potions I believe you can carry might be right here. Yes. Okay, so this increases the amount of healing potions you can carry. You can see it costs merits and rams. This is exploration merits. Of course, combat stuff costs combat merits. But this is kind of how the Slayer's Path goes as you go all the way up. And we will look at the rest of these here just for the sake of this video. So right here, you see you unlock a new loadout slot. And what that does is allows you to put different loadouts in your inventory, and that way you can just swap between them, alternate them for the hunt. You know, it's a way to alternate easier and quicker, you know, so you're not taking so much time. The next one is lantern crafting and also more weapon stuff. So if we go over here and look, you can see that it unlocks some chain blade abilities if you select chain blades, or you got, of course, every weapon in the game is here, so you can go through all of them and unlock stuff for those. You see I've done some more for axes really than anything, and you go through and unlocks things for those. Of course, you have more, once again, more places to go, more hunting grounds that you can unlock. You have the different lantern crafting right here that you can unlock, and then you go up the tree one more time to 6. And then this is more focusing on elemental stuff. So this is like your elemental resistance is on the next one. This is more or less, let's see what it says. Unlocking escalations. Okay. The resistance is on 7. But you unlock escalations. This is also where you do some more alchemy tonic crafting. This is your advanced tonic crafting. So this is where you make the advanced stuff and where you can advance that. I don't even recommend speccing into this, at least for a while. You're going to want to focus your efforts on unlocking all of the hunting grounds so you can get to reforging as quick as possible, as well as unlocking, you know, as many of your weapon abilities as possible. There is, I will do a guide specifically on which weapon abilities to take and which ones to avoid if you want me to in the future. But overall, this has just kind of been my brief overview of the Slayer's Path, and we got a couple more to go here, so we're going to keep going. But you know, on the right, to the right-hand side of number 7, this is where you unlock yet more hunting grounds. I keep wanting to call them escalations, but the hunting grounds. This is where you unlock yet more hunting grounds. All right. To the left is your resistances to elements. So these are where you just say, I want to be more resistant to fire. So we'll go up here. I believe this one's fire. Yes. So we'll go up here and you say, okay, I'm doing a lot of fire escalation, so I'm going to increase that. I'm going to spend some of my combat merits and some rams and increase my fire resistance. And so that's how you do that. in the Slayer's Path, and you can increase it, by a factor of 5 with each one of these. And it gets increasingly more expensive as you go. And so just keep note of that. If you really want to be resistant to fire, this is a good way to do it. And then with your fire armor, if you're doing a whole bunch of fire escalations or whatever it is that you may be doing, I just use that as an example. Now, this one here, we're going to be looking at, this is another alchemical upgrade, okay? This is where you craft, what are these called? The pylons that give you a nearby Slayer's powerful buff. So this is like a buff type of thing, if you will. So here, if you read this, it buffs the armor of nearby combatants. You got another one right here for buffing. What does this one do? It buffs, heals any wounded allies within range. So this is more or less like a passive thing that you can set down and help your team. It's more like a support type of play style, if you will. So these are good to get into, but later on, after you've kind of spent your rams and your merits on things that are more critically important, of course. Now, we're going to move on up here to number 9, and that's Edge of the Isles, which is travel beyond and face new enemies. So to the right, you unlock a new hunting grounds. Keep calling them hunts and escalations. I'm stuck in the old times, I guess. And then to the left, you get a gathering upgrade. So this is where you pick up more things when you go through and whatever. So the gathering upgrades, unless you're doing a lot of crafting with those items, I wouldn't really recommend doing those either early on. You just kind of be wasting your time with those. And then now you're looking at, I believe this is where you unlock trials. No, see, this is 10. It's not where you unlock trials, okay? These are just more hunting grounds. And then you get into grenade crafting, which is another thing that's kind of useless for the beginning and for a while. You're going to want to focus on your weapons and not grenades and different things like that. So just keep that in mind. We're going to move right along here to 11. Okay, and at 11, this is where you unlock the Razor Cliff Isle and Twilight Sanctuary, just some more hunting grounds, as well as the ability to unlock Trials mode on normal difficulty. So this is the first Trials mode that we've come across. This is where you unlock Trials mode on normal difficulty. We move on up to Reforged, and it is yet more weapon perks that you get from reforging, and the paths that you go, see here, you have to reforge them multiple number of times. Reforge chain blades one time, and that starts you along that path, okay? You have to unlock reforging at the top before you can do any of this. So the top here will say that this unlocks reforging. So that's after you get to the very top of the Slayer's Path, you can unlock reforging. And then when you hit level 20 with a certain weapon, then you can reforge it into these other slots. So if you want to say reforge the axe, all right, that gives you 1% power no matter what weapon is equipped. And all of these do that. So there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40%, no, 35-ish percent more power if you reforge every weapon 5 times, right? No, it's more than that. How many times? If you reforge every weapon 10 times, and that's going to take a really long time to do. So they're counting on it taking you a while, but you'll be really strong if you get into these reforging. And then over here, this is the final thing we'll talk about. This is hard escalations. That is really all there is to it. And then up at the top, we have hard difficulty, right? Unlock Trials mode, Dauntless difficulty. Sorry, Dauntless, I forget. It's basically hard difficulty, super hard. And then you earn these steel marks by doing normal Trials mode trials. And so you work up in those enough until you can unlock the hardest one. But overall, that is the Slayer's Path. I wanted to do a brief overview, and I realize I've been rambling for almost 10 minutes. But I wanted to do an overview of the Slayer's Path. I get a lot of questions that can be answered by pointing someone towards a video like this, towards the Slayer's Path. And so I thought I would go ahead and do an overview video. It's kind of boring, kind of not a lot going on in the background, but I thought I'd go ahead and do that video just so we can get it out of the way and move on to some more interesting content for Dauntless in the future. Hope you all have had a great day. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more Dauntless content. Got a lot more stuff coming down the pipe for this year, so be sure to be sticking around and stay tuned. Thank you. Bye-bye.